Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, January 12th, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to Catex TV. About 4 million people, including a number of world leaders, marched in anti-terrorism rallies in Paris and elsewhere in France yesterday. This was a massive gathering in Paris, which was apparently the largest in the history of France. The day was emotional and peaceful. It was a very unusual event. At the head of the line were the French President Francois Hollande, British Prime Minister David Cameron, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy, Benjamin Netanyahu from Israel, the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. The rally began at 3 p.m. when the march started. On its way, people were actually applauding police snipers who were on rooftops. A number of people were carrying signs, of course, saying, "I am Charlie," referring to the magazine that was attacked last Thursday. And also they were carrying signs saying, "I am the police and I am Muslim." It's a very interesting event. It might, in fact, begin to show something. Also of note was that the Hezbollah leader in Beirut, Hassan Nasrallah, said that the attacks in France were unwarranted, unjustified, and excessive. Also, Hamas has issued a statement saying the same thing. So who knows what's going to happen from this. Meanwhile, France remains on very high alert. The American Department of Homeland Security has issued a worldwide travel warning for Americans as well. The black boxes for AirAsia flight 8501 apparently have been found now. One has actually been recovered, the flight data recorder. The voice recorder has actually been located and will probably be pulled up today. Once these boxes are analyzed, much more information about the flight's crash will, of course, be known. According to authorities in Xinjiang, China, a group of mobsters earlier today tried to set off an explosive device in a business district, prompting police to shoot 6 of them dead. Hundreds of people have been killed over the last few years in resource-rich Xinjiang province, which is also the homeland of Uyghurs, which is an Islamic-based ethnic group in China who have been having many, many years of difficulties with Han Chinese, who are the ethnic majority in all of China. Meanwhile, in Mozambique, police are saying that over 60 people have now died after drinking contaminated traditional beer at a funeral. This was on Sunday night, the funeral. 196 people as of today had been admitted to the hospital. This all occurred in northeastern Leyte province. Pombe, which is the traditional Mozambique beer, is made from corn flour. The exact source of the contamination is still unknown, but authorities believe that the drink was poisoned with crocodile bile during the course of the funeral. The woman who brewed the beer is also among the dead. Later this week, Pope Francis is going to travel to the Philippines, a very, very Catholic country where his welcome is expected to be jubilant. However, the Philippines are nervously watching as a tropical storm is approaching the typhoon central island of Leyte, where Francis is scheduled to offer a mass on the 17th. The government is planning contingency events. However, when he does arrive on Thursday, the Saturday Mass in Leyte is going to be offered at ground zero for the strike of the massive typhoon Haiyan. He's going to have lunch with storm survivors in town before offering the Mass. The 18th, on Sunday, is when he's going to offer another Mass in the capital of Manila. The weather is expected to be fine for that, and Philippine authorities are saying that that could be the largest event in the history of the country. The U.S. Geological Survey has confirmed a 3.3 magnitude earthquake near the Rhode Island-Connecticut state line this morning at 6:30 a.m. Nobody was injured, but there were a couple of very small earthquakes last week, 1.2 and actually one at a 2.2. 2 workers died and 4 others were injured earlier today after a nitrogen leak at an LG display factory north of Seoul occurred. It took place at about 12:50 p.m. at the P8 factory in Paju, about 25 miles north of Seoul. The victims were taken to 4 area hospitals. This is as a result of an accident at the top maker of liquid crystal displays in South Korea. LG Display has offered an apology to the victims. And here's an interesting story. The UK government apparently announced that the nation's power network is receiving upwards of cyber attack threats of more than a minute, of more than 1 attack per minute as it stands right now. The National Grid have very high quality people who are working to counterattack the cyber threats, but they can't expect them to win forever. Britain's electricity transmission network is constantly subject to cyber attacks, and the alerts will remain on high for the next few months. The government is now spending about $1.3 billion annually in order to ward off the threats. Buried within the story was this paragraph. The U.S. grid was successfully attacked in November by several foreign governments, likely Russia, Iran, and China, leaving it vulnerable to physical damage, according to the National Security Agency. This is the first we've heard of this. We'll attempt to find out about that. A report by Mountain View, California-based cybersecurity company SentinelOne predicts that such attacks will disrupt American electricity this year. That would definitely be a newsworthy event. That's the news for today. Thank you for watching. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you, and we'll see you tomorrow.